This video is for you who want to learn how to make pasta, fresh pasta. If you want to become a master of pasta making, this is the video for you. We start from the history all the way to how to make the perfect dough for your pasta. Stay tuned because you're about to become a pasta master. Hi and welcome to Vincenzo's Plate. Today we are becoming pasta masters and I want to tell you a little story about egg pasta, pasta in general. Now, it's very interesting and please listen. If you're not interested, just go forward and go straight to the recipe. So pasta was created before Marco Polo went to China. Historians say that Romans and Greeks already had the lasagna pasta shape. Then the real pasta was created in Sicily when the Arabs invaded Sicily and Puglia. But for a short time, when the Arabs were there, this pasta was created. It was semolina and water, because the regions of Puglia, Sicily, they have lots of semolina. And basically, this pasta was created and different shapes were created. So the pasta started to travel, was traveling all over Italy. So from Sicily all the way to north, many different shapes were created, and it's fascinating how. But when it got to north, the north was rich and still is richer than the south. The north had the eggs, the south was poor. Eggs were not popular, were not available to everyone. So the northern Italians decided to use eggs, and also in the north they don't have semolina, they have a soft flour with lots of proteins, and then tagliatelle were created, pappardelle, fettuccine, tortellini, and more and more and more. So if you think about tortellini, ravioli, they always come from the north because the north was richer and they had the ingredients to fill the pasta. In the south, where it was more poor, the dry pasta was very popular. Like in Naples, spaghetti were created in Naples, orecchiette, the old pasta made with semolina and water. You put them together, cheap ingredients, and you can feed the whole family. Okay, so rarely, or not at all, you go to Sicily and a family is famous for making tortellini or ravioli or a filled pasta. In the southern Italy, filled pasta is not very popular. Of course, now people eat it, but historically it's not popular. I think it's nice to know this. Now that you know the history of fresh pasta, let's go and make fresh pasta and let's learn step by step how to make this beautiful, luxurious, privileged pasta. This is how easy and simple it is to make pasta. But you need to do it right. Now there are two ingredients to make fresh egg pasta. You need the eggs and you need the flour. You need a good quality flour. Now, ingredients, how do you measure? One egg is 100 grams of flour. So if you have 2 eggs, you need 200 grams of flour. See, us Italians, we love to eat pasta. We love it. So we do it a lot, okay? For you, I will say that with 2 eggs and 200 grams of flour, you should be able to easily make pasta for 4 to 6 people. But it depends how you are. This is totally up to you. So when you make pasta, you always want to have flour next to you. Flour is kind of your best friend. So I've got a little bit there. And then what do we do is we need to measure, we need to get 200 grams because I'm using 2 eggs. If you don't have a scale, what do? This is what I do. I just get a full hand of flour, and that should be about 100 grams. See, I do 1 full hand of flour. That's about 200 grams. So see, it's about 200 grams, and then I've got a little bit on the side, just in case if I need it. Now, the first thing you do is with this is you create a well, like this. And the reason why we do the well is because we don't want the eggs to go out. And the eggs, it's important that your eggs are at room temperature. What I like to do with the eggs is I like to break the eggs in a plate, and we're going to put the eggs in there, inside. just like that. So you need organic top quality eggs, and you also need top quality flour in order to get a nice yellow pasta. Okay, now what we do, we break a little bit. By using a fork, we mix it. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to collect a little bit of flour from the sides, from the edges, so that helps me to make it creamier. But slowly, take your time, and this is something you must do by hand. This is kind of a must do with your hand. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of flour from the sides. Now when you make pasta, I recommend you to use a wooden board, just because the texture of the pasta would be nicer and a bit more rustic. You can use any other bench top that you want, but the wooden top for me is the best one. Now I'm gonna finish this off with what's left here of the flour, because I don't want this to be runny, but as you can see, it takes no time now to become creamy. And slowly, very soon, we're gonna start kneading the dough. Now, kneading the dough, it's something that I like to do with my hands. I wanna feel the dough, because it's all about feeling it. Make sure that I don't waste anything, and I start mixing. I start mixing this dough just like this, just with one hand. I keep one hand free. So now, you need to feel it with your hands slowly, and you need to try and keep the same movement. Now, how do we keep the same movement? Okay, well, you keep the same movement by do this. I like to do this. So I press forward with this part of my hand, then I fold back, then I press forward again, then I fold back, then I press forward again, then I fold back, and then I turn it around like this. Now, this is a very good friend of yours. Make sure you use this, or you can use a knife, because this will clean your board and it will get any excess flour that you have there. Now that the dough is less sticky, what I do is I put flour on my hand. So what we do now, we use two hands. Again, push forward, back, push forward, and back again. That's my technique. That's how I like to do it. You want to do a different way? Well, you can do like this. You can do stretch 1, 2, fold 1, 2, fold. This is really personal, and you guys have to do what you want. Okay? Why I said to you don't use the stand mixer? Well, if you use the stand mixer, the dough will stress, or the protein will stress and go crazy everywhere, and the dough will kind of become a little bit rubbery. So this process takes about 10 minutes to be done. How do you know when it's finished? How do you know when you are done? Well, you do know when you're done when you don't see any flour left on the dough. And as you can see, the dough, it's almost ready, and by touching the dough, you can see how well it's reacting? It's nice and soft. It's a beautiful color. It's a very nice color. If you are working the dough, you find the dough not too soft, like it's not dry, but it's not too soft, just the way you want it, what you can do is you can just let it rest for about 10 minutes, and you will see that the dough will be much softer. And then you can keep going in kneading the dough. There are cases where your dough it's a bit dry when you make it. So what you do, just wet your hands in the sink, have your hands wet, and the dough will absorb the water from your hands, and it will be much easier to work the dough. Okay. Now we just need to rest it for about 20 minutes, and then we wait to work it. Okay. And today I'm going to make the pasta with rolling pin. Okay, I'll show you how to use the pasta machine as well, but I'll show you the real way, the rolling pin, the best way for me to make pasta, because again, we are not stressing it. The pasta would be more relaxed and not rubbery when you make it with the rolling pin. After 20 minutes, let's see what happened. And see, we have a beautiful dough, and then what we do is we start cutting, let's say about this much. Look at that, and look at the inside. Look what you want. This is the reaction that you want inside your pasta. Now what I do with this part, I don't want this to dry up, so we always cover this. always cover, and this is the part we're gonna use. You need to remember the flour, it's your best friend at this time, okay? So this part, it is a bit sticky. So you need to put the flour on top, and you need to put the flour at the bottom, okay? So we never want the pasta to be sticky. You don't want the pasta to get stuck to the rolling pin. So you put flour around the rolling pin, and now we can start, okay? Now, as you can see here, I'm not going for the long streak pasta. I'm going for this side because it is wide. So we can make it long and wide. So I go one, and then I go back. See how much I stretched it? And I turn it around, and I do it again. One, and then I go back from the middle towards me, two. Now that it's stretched, I can just do this. One, two. One, two. So we try to have it same. See, now it's round. If you don't have a rolling pin, don't worry, you can use a bottle of wine. Now what I like to do here, I push forward and I hold with my hand over there. Now that the dough is getting bigger, we can use this technique. But before, you need to use the other technique. Now, it depends what pasta you are making. If you are making tagliatelle, pappardelle, spaghetti, you do want to make it thin as possible. If you're making lasagna sheet, well, the lasagna sheet is kind of ready, if you ask me, because you want the lasagna to be kind of a little bit thick, because it does cook for a long time, and if you make it too thin, it will disappear in the sauce. So this is ready for a lasagna, in my opinion. We want to create shapes. So what I like to do is this. I fold in, then I fold in again, I fold in again here, and then we cut it into the shape that we want. And in this case, I'm going to make tagliolini. It's like a bit thicker than spaghetti. You can make tagliolini cacio e pepe with this. See? What I can do now, if I want, I can make pappardelle, which is thicker. And look at that. See, I've got beautiful pappardelle. If I want to do tagliatelle, then I just make it like that, a bit smaller than pappardelle. And here I have the tagliatelle for you. See? Now, what else can you do? You can make it so thin, you can do spaghetti if you want. You just need to make sure you use a good knife. And here we can create spaghetti, egg spaghetti. See how beautiful it is to make pasta? So simple. I'm gonna do more videos how to make different types of pastas. So now at this point that you have all this pasta, you do wanna put flour on top. Okay, mix it properly and make sure you cover your pasta. Okay, the pasta always needs to be covered, because if it dries up, it's not gonna be nice. This is egg pasta and you don't wanna serve this dry. Now let's show you how to make it with the pasta machine. To make it with the pasta machine, again, we cut a piece. So I'm cutting this much. And again, flour is your best friend. So here, these two sides right now, they are sticky. So what we wanna do, we wanna put flour there, and press. Okay, press just like this. And then we wanna put it through the pasta machine. Okay guys, it's very easy to use a pasta machine. So what you do is you get the pasta machine, use the part here with the hole, and what we do is we put it there, next to the edge of your board, okay? Then we have this utensil, this one, that we wanna put through the hole. Go all the way down, push inside, and lock it in. The other step that we have now, we need to add this. And this, we put it here. Okay, so this is what you need to create the pasta shapes. And then we have this to rotate the pasta. So the pasta machine has this, which we need to put on the widest setting. Starts from 1, it goes all the way to 9. So this is where we're gonna put the pasta sheet first to make it smooth, to make it long. And then this is what we can use to create pasta shapes. So we have spaghetti or fettuccine. So now what you need to do, you need to make sure that you put flour everywhere here, because when we put the pasta through this, we don't want the pasta to get stuck in there, okay? So when you put the pasta in, you don't put the pasta in like this, otherwise it's gonna be very long and skinny. We want this to be nice, wide, and long enough. You don't want the pasta to be extremely long. So what we do is, you put it on number 1, so the setting starts from number 1, goes all the way to number 9, okay? So start from the wide setting, and this is what we do. Pass it through, be gentle, don't rush. And at this point what we do is, we fold it again, and we pass through again. The reason why we do this is because we want to get rid of all the air inside the dough. Look at that, see? Kind of have the dough. We'll do one more time now without folding on number 1. Okay, and we did the base, that's the beginning. Okay, now we can start stretching more. So from number 1, we go to number 2. So from number 2, this is what we do. Look at that. Look how much it is stretching already. Number 2, see, it's becoming smoother. The dough is beautiful, nice and yellow. If you feel like your dough is a bit sticky, please feel free to pass it on the flour and just put some flour on top. Only if you feel like it's sticky. And I like to go all the way to number 7. I believe number 7 is the perfect size for a pasta to eat. So we'll do one more time, number 7, and we do the test. If you can see your fingers through the pasta, then it's done, it's ready. So look how perfect it is. The pasta machine is definitely easier, definitely more precise, because when you do it by hand with the rolling pin it's not precise, but look what we got here. You can see my fingers, and now we can make any pasta we want. So let's just cut the pasta in half, and again we want to put some flour on this. Let's make tagliatelle, we love tagliatelle. So look what I'm doing now. I'll move this to this. We've got enough flour on the pasta, because at this point we don't want the pasta to get stuck. So just pass it on the flour again. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And look what I'm going to do right now. The pasta is going to come out from the other side. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be perfect. And this is how you make a beautiful, perfect pasta. So you get the right length for the tagliatelle. What you need to remember is that when you cook your pasta, it needs to be fresh. You can freeze your pasta. Yes, what I love to do, I get a tray, I put the pasta on top of the tray, and I freeze it straight away. So that way, I've got the pasta anytime I want pasta. And you should be making that portions just like this. You can keep it in the fridge for 1 or 2 days when it's fresh. After 2 days, it's not good anymore, it gets stuck together. How beautiful this process is. It's relaxing, it's nice for you. You can do this for your family. You can do it with love. That's one portion for you, my friend. You can do pappardelle, you can do spaghetti, you can do maltagliati, anything. When you freeze your pasta, you cook it straight from frozen. So what you need to remember is that you don't defrost the pasta, because if you do defrost the pasta, then it's gonna be terrible, rubbery, soggy, it will get stuck together. You cook straight from frozen into the boiling water. That's it, and you cook it for 2 extra minutes. A pasta like this takes about 3 minutes to cook. If you make a thicker pasta, maybe it takes 4 to 5 minutes. Spaghetti, fresh spaghetti will take about 2 minutes. But if you are going to freeze it, add 2 extra minutes. And the rule is always taste it, okay? Don't just follow the number because it's fresh. So there's no packet telling you how long to cook it for. You need to taste it, try it, and make sure it's nice. And for me, it's already nice because I can have this raw. In the next video, I'm going to share your favorite pasta shape. Be ready. So thank you so much for watching this episode. We will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia. Vincenzo's Plate. Plenty of pasta.